getting a little cold in Brisbane, so I'm wearing my cardigan. So I want to jump on today because I would love to share something with you, which is fear. Overcoming your fear. Okay, so everyone has fears. Don't deny it. I know you do. And that is a topic that we're allowed to talk about today. So what fears do you have? Do you have fear of failure? Or maybe you have fear of rejection? Or maybe you have fear of being unloved? Or maybe you have a fear of being successful. This one might sound weird, but I know that some of you have this fear. Is it you? Is it? Or maybe you have the fear of money. This might sound weird again, but fear of making too much, making too little. What is it? What are your fears? Share them with me. Because did you know if you overcome, embrace, and acknowledge your fears, you will grow as a person? And also acknowledging, I guess, yourself and recognizing your childhood traumas, and also knowing why you believe in the stuff that you believe in. There are many layers on how you can grow as a person. But today we will focus on the fear layer. Yay! So, actually, if what I have mentioned is something that you would be interested, watch this space because I will be live more often. Actually, I already have decided that I'm gonna be live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday till the end of June. I just don't know what time. So yeah, if you're interested, mark it on your calendar. And also go sign up to the self-development course that is coming at Babylon Grey. The link is in the description and also in the bio. Alright, back to the topic of fear. So yeah, what fear do you have? What fears do you have? Did I mention that everyone has fears? Yes, everyone does. And some people, they might seem like that they are fearless, or maybe they are not afraid of the things that you are afraid of. But that's only because they have overcome the fears that you have. It doesn't mean that they don't have any fears. Everyone's got fears. Fear is one of our emotions. Fear is actually a protective mechanism that is trying to protect us. Oh, I'm actually getting a little hot. So that's how our brain works. It could be, the things that you have watched. It could be the things that you have read. It could be what your friends and family have been telling you to cause that fear. So for example, someone may have a fear of getting on the plane. And that could be because this person have seen many news about plane crashes, or read many articles about plane crashes, and the family keep on telling them, being on the plane is uncomfortable, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And because this person has focused on the tragic of being on the plane, so if someone come along and asks that person to be like, hey, want to go travel somewhere, want to go visit another country, blah 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 blah, then that person's brain would tell that person that no, you can't, you might die, don't go on the plane. Yeah, our brain is amazing like that. It's trying to protect us. But let me ask you, have you been letting your fear run your life? Have you been letting your fear stopping you from getting where you want to be? And have you been letting your fear stopping you from experiencing life? Have you? Well, well, that's why today I would love to give you 3 tips. 3 tips on how to overcome any fear. Now, these 3 simple tips, they are simple, but it does take work. But please know that you are not alone on this journey. I'm here with you, okay? So, here are the 3 simple tips. Oh, by the way, the number 1 rule is to take action. Actually, I think the number 1 rule is to know that all you need to overcome your fear is yourself, your powerful self. What the heck do I mean by that? Yeah, I meant it like how I said it. To overcome any fear, all you need is yourself. So you yourself need to stop yourself to let fear control your life. You yourself need to stop doubting yourself and let the fear stopping you from experiencing life. Okay? So questioning and doubting yourself won't get you anywhere. So that's why today I would like to share the 3 tips with you. Ta-da! Okay, so tip number 1. Tip number 1 to overcoming fear is write it down. Sounds super simple, but let me ask you, have you ever really written down the fears that you have on a piece of paper and confronted? Have you? Maybe the thought of needing to write it down already makes you anxious. So write it down. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, find out why you have those fears. Why? So this might take a little longer because you need to dig deeper. For example, someone may have the fear of needles. So this person always gets super dizzy when they need to get something done in a hospital. Okay? So why does that person have this fear? It could be generational. It could be something that happened in their childhood. It could be because stuff they have watched or etc. Find out your why. Everyone's why is different. Now the 3rd tip is, what is the worst thing that can happen? This might take a while. Now that you have written it down, and you have written why you have these fears, and now it's time for you to understand what is the worst thing that could happen. So for example, maybe you have the fear of rejection. Hi. So you might have the fear of rejection. So, oh, by the way, I have drawn a diagram for you guys. What you need will be A4 pieces of paper, so they need to be blank, and you need to fold them in thirds horizontally, and then draw the lines on the crease like this. And then you write the title down of the tips that I have given you at the top, sequentially. So number 1, number 2, number 3. 1 is, what fears do I have? Number 2 is, why do I have those fears? Number 3 is, what is the worst thing that could happen? Yeah? Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip. The bonus tip is, do something daily, weekly, or monthly to overcome that fear. Now, let me give you a few examples. You might have the fear of being alone. You might have a fear of being alone. So write them down. Fear of being alone. Why do I have the fear of being alone? It could be because you think that being around people may make you happy. I don't know. Or you have the fear of being alone because you might need to face your feelings. I don't know. So what is the worst thing that could happen if you need to be alone? The worst thing that could happen is maybe you might overthink things. I don't know. The worst thing that could happen from being alone is maybe you need to actually recognize your emotions. I don't know. So write them down. And the bonus tip of what you can do, maybe daily, weekly, monthly, to overcome that fear. What you can do, I guess, you can be like, go do grocery shopping by yourself for the month of June. That can, slowly help you overcome the fear of being alone. Or maybe you can set a task of, okay, so every week I want to set out 2 days, and for 15 to 30 minutes, I am going to spend time in solitude. So me, by myself, with no distractions, phone on airplane mode, just you by yourself with your maybe tea or coffee, water, whatever it is, and then you can be by yourself, stare at the sky, stare at the plant, stare at the couch, whatever it is. Oh, and if you have trouble coming up with the tasks, don't be afraid to reach out, because I mean it, you are not alone on this journey. So I can help you come up with tasks. Another example could be fear of rejections. I think that's a good one. So fear of rejections. Why do I have those fears? Why do I have fear of rejection? Well, it could be because you always want to get what you wanted, and you get frustrated when you don't get what you want. That could be why. Or it could be when people say no to me, I feel incompetent. I don't know. Why is it? Why do you fear of getting rejected? And what is the worst thing that could happen? Okay, people say no. The worst thing that could happen is people saying no. So for example, so what can you do? The bonus tip, what can you do daily, weekly, or monthly to overcome that fear? Well, you can start asking people out for coffee. I don't know, because people might say no. And this is what I would encourage you to do as well. So when people say no, you can ask, how come? For example, if you want to ask someone out and that person say no, thank you, then you can be like, why is the reason that you say no to me? You can find out why. It could be that person's reason. It could be you need to improve yourself, blah blah blah. Or okay, you know what? Maybe you want to ask for a pay rise. Okay, and your manager said no, sorry. Then you can be like, okay, can you please provide some feedback? Why did you say no? Okay, so fear of rejection. Why do I have that fear? And what is the worst thing that could happen? Yeah. So I hope that you're gonna take on these 3 tips to start overcoming your fears. Any fear. Trust me, this is going to work. You wanna know why? You're gonna feel so powerful just by writing it down, because you are getting the thoughts, the doubts, the questions in your head written down on the papers, and it's clear in front of you, and when you look at them, you might be like, oh my god, I can actually achieve these things. How amazing is that? So yeah, I hope that you are going to, take on these 3 tips, and I highly recommend doing the bonus tip as well, which is what can you do daily or weekly or monthly to overcome whatever fear that you have. And again, you are not alone on this journey, okay? So if you have any questions or troubles, just get in contact with me. And I honestly would love it if you can share them with me. You can hashtag Babylon Grey Change, Babylon Grey Change, or you can DM me, or you can email me, or you can do a post and tag me, because you know what? You never know who you might inspire with the post that you are gonna post. Yeah? So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share today. Remember, you're amazing and you are not alone. And I will see you in the next video.